Luke 12. In the meantime, when the many thousands of the multitude were gathered 12:1 as the crowd gathered in thousands, so dense they trampled over one another, he began speaking first to his disciples, Beware of the leaven of the Pharisees, which is hypocrisy. There is nothing concealed that will not be revealed, nor hidden that will not be made known. Whatever you have said in the darkness will be heard in the light, and what you have whispered in the inner rooms will be proclaimed from the rooftops. I tell you, my friends, do not fear those who kill the body and afterward can do no more. But I will show you whom to fear. Fear him who, after killing, has the authority to cast into hell. Yes, I tell you, fear him. Are not 5 sparrows sold for 2 pennies? Yet not one of them is forgotten before God. Even the hairs of your head are all numbered. Do not be afraid. You are worth more than many sparrows. I tell you, everyone who acknowledges me before others, the Son of Man will also acknowledge before the angels of God. But whoever denies me before others will be denied before the angels of God. And everyone who speaks a word against the Son of Man will be forgiven, but anyone who blasphemes against the Holy Spirit will not be forgiven. When they bring you before synagogues, rulers, and authorities, do not worry about how to defend yourselves or what to say, for the Holy Spirit will teach you at that very moment what you ought to say. Then someone from the crowd said to him, Teacher, tell my brother to divide the inheritance with me. But he replied, Man, who appointed me as a judge or arbitrator over you? Then he said to them, Watch out and guard yourselves against all kinds of greed, for life does not consist in an abundance of possessions. And he told them this parable. The land of a rich man produced abundantly. He thought to himself, What shall I do? I have no place to store my crops. Then he said, This is what I'll do. I will tear down my barns and build bigger ones, and there I will store all my grain and goods. And I will say to my soul, Soul, you have plenty of goods laid up for many years. Take it easy, eat, drink, and be merry. But God said to him, You fool! This very night your soul will be demanded of you. Then who will get what you have prepared? So it is with anyone who stores up treasure for himself, but is not rich toward God. Then he said to his disciples, Therefore I tell you, do not worry about your life, what you will eat, nor about your body, what you will wear. For life is more than food, and the body more than clothing. Consider the ravens. They neither sow nor reap, they have neither storeroom nor barn, yet God feeds them. And how much more valuable are you than birds? Who of you by worrying can add a single moment to his life? Since you cannot do even this little thing, why do you worry about the rest? Consider how the lilies grow. They do not labor or spin, yet I tell you, not even Solomon in all his splendor was dressed like one of these. If God so clothes the grass of the field, which today is alive and tomorrow is thrown into the oven, how much more will he clothe you, you of little faith? Do not set your heart on what you will eat or drink. Do not be anxious. For the nations of the world seek after these things, and your Father knows that you need them. But seek his kingdom, and these things will be given to you as well. Fear not, little flock, for your Father is pleased to give you the kingdom. Sell your possessions and give to the poor. Provide yourselves with purses that do not wear out, a treasure in heaven that will never fail, where no thief approaches and no moth destroys. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. Be dressed and ready, with your lamps burning, like servants waiting for their master to return from the wedding banquet, so that when he comes and knocks, they can open the door immediately. Blessed are those servants whom the master finds watching when he comes. Truly I tell you, he will dress himself to serve, have them recline at the table, and come to wait on them. Even if he comes in the 2nd or 3rd watch of the night, and finds them alert, blessed are those servants. But understand this, if the homeowner had known at what hour the thief was coming, he would not have let his house be broken into. You also must be ready, because the Son of Man will come at an hour you do not expect. Peter asked, "Lord, are you telling this parable to us, or to everyone?" The Lord replied, "Who then is the faithful and wise steward, whom the master will put in charge of his household servants to give them their share of food at the proper time? Blessed is that servant whom his master finds doing so when he returns. Truly I tell you, he will put him in charge of all his possessions. But if that servant says to himself, 'My master is delayed in coming,' and begins to beat the other servants, both men and women, and to eat and drink and get drunk, the master of that servant will come on a day he does not expect, and at an hour he does not know. He will cut him to pieces, and assign him a place with the unfaithful. That servant who knew his master's will, but did not prepare or act according to his will, shall be beaten with many blows. But the one who did not know and did things deserving punishment will be beaten with few blows. From everyone who has been given much, much will be required, and from the one entrusted with much, even more will be asked. I have come to cast fire upon the earth, and how I wish it were already kindled. But I have a baptism to undergo, and how distressed I am until it is completed. Do you think I came to bring peace on earth? No, I tell you, but rather division. From now on, there will be 5 in one household divided, 3 against 2, and 2 against 3. They will be divided, father against son and son against father, mother against daughter and daughter against mother, mother-in-law against daughter-in-law and daughter-in-law against mother-in-law. He also said to the crowds, "When you see a cloud rising in the west, you immediately say, 'A shower is coming,' and so it happens. And when you see the south wind blowing, you say, 'It will be hot,' and it comes to pass. You hypocrites! You know how to interpret the appearance of the earth and the sky. But why do you not know how to interpret this present time? Why do you not judge for yourselves what is right? As you go with your adversary to the magistrate, try hard to settle the matter on the way, lest he drag you to the judge, and the judge hand you over to the officer, and the officer throw you into prison. I tell you, you will not get out until you have paid the last penny.